Hi, I'm Jolie.
And I'm Charlie.
And welcome to Teatime Talks, the Language Attic's weekly podcast to help your English listening skills, where we talk about anything and everything. Now, as the year comes to a close, we thought it'd be really fun to go back and look at all the things that have happened in 2025. All of the trends, historical events, major news articles, anything that comes to mind. Now, this feels like it's been a very long and short year at the same time.
Yeah.
When I looked back at things that have happened this year to talk about, I couldn't believe that I completely forgot about so many of them.
Me too.
And there's so many things that happened in like January and February, and I think, how was that this year? But also at the same time, I am so shocked that it's already December. So do we just want to jump into it?
I guess so, yeah. Let's just go through and name some things and see what we remember about them.
Okay, so I definitely lent more towards the pop culture side of things. So the first thing that I thought of recapping 2025 is Labubu's.
Oh, God. Yeah. Wow, they just became a thing so quickly.
They did. They came out of nowhere.
They did. I really don't know where they originated or why or when. They just suddenly kind of took over.
I do feel like there's some trends that come about and you kind of can find the origins of them or even just their existence beforehand. And a lot of the time trends are kind of things that already existed and were liked, but just kind of got absolutely popularised by TikTok.
Yeah.
You know? Labubu's I genuinely had never seen in my life until everyone wanted one. Everyone was hunting for them. They became so sought after. And unpopular opinion, I don't like them.
No, I don't either. And I think a lot of people also agree with that. I mean, yeah, I really don't know where they came from, but suddenly, you know, there's a lot of trends that they very quickly get popular and very quickly kind of disappear online. But Labubu's is one that's like bled into real life, because even if I go to like our city and walk around, I'll see Labubu's in the shops.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
They're everywhere. Everyone's trying to sell them. And the craziest thing is I already feel like they've dropped off.
Oh, they have. Yeah.
They've completely just lost all popularity. I think the hype has ended. And so I just don't want to imagine how many are being chucked into landfills.
That's very true.
Like, the amount that are just never going to get bought because they're never going to come back into fashion.
I feel like, especially when things become popular so quick, they also become unpopular very quickly.
Yeah,
and definitely. I think Labubu's is definitely in that vein. Like, there's another YouTube channel that I watch of a guy who helps people with their finances, and he interviewed this one woman, and she spent like thousands on Labubu's.
It's like ridiculous.
She like went into debt over it because she just wanted to collect them, and it's like, oh my god.
I mean, I understand completely the want to collect things, but just the sheer absolute like mania over these things was insane. And the secret, like, I don't get me wrong, we both enjoy collecting other things. They've been around though, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
they're
established. People have been collecting them for a while. The Labubu's, I swear to God, I just don't know where they came from. They just appeared from nowhere. And I think if there is going to be one singular image to wrap up 2025, it's a Labubu.
Yeah, the Labubu and the Dubai chocolate is just kind of taken over.
That was another one that I had. My second one was Dubai chocolate.
Yeah.
Now, I was speaking with my mom the other day and I said to her, do you know what? I'm never really someone that follows trends. I've never really been into them. Maybe it's just my own style in that what gets trendy and popular doesn't appeal to me so much. If there is one trend I love, it's Dubai chocolate. It is so good, and I am so glad that it became a thing.
That's fair. I mean, it definitely, to me, I think my image of it was ruined by the fact that it was associated with Labubu's and just like chronically online.
Yeah.
But I only recently tried Dubai chocolate for the first time, and it was actually very nice.
It is so good. And then, but this is the thing, is like, it's only a trend because it's now being called Dubai chocolate. Like,
Yeah.
this is something people have been eating for ages. Like, but again, it's just and I'm not trying to pass the blame on to Americans, but the TikTokization of it just made it something completely different. So the origins of it, which have been around for God knows how long, are kind of forgotten about because now it's like, oh, it's the trend of Dubai chocolate. Do you know what I mean? It is delicious, so I will say I enjoy it very much, and I hope it stays around.
Hopefully it doesn't go with the Lubu food.
Hopefully its trend stays quite steady. I definitely would be sad if I couldn't find it anymore.
It would be quite sad because it's quite tasty.
Yeah, so what was the other one that you had? Because that was my second one, was Dubai chocolate.
See, I have a bit of both. I have a bit of the pop culture and brain rot, but I also have like events that have happened.
Yeah.
One that kind of is one of the main ones for me this year because I watched it was when the English women's football team won the Euros.
Oh my god, yeah, that did happen.
Yeah. And
wow.
Usually I feel like in a year there's a lot more big like sporting events or like political events or something. This year there wasn't that many. So I think the Euros stuck out to me.
Yeah, I think there's a very big difference between political events and just horrific things happening, which we won't get into because I don't think we really have the stage to say or knowledge to say on those things. But yeah, the English women's football team winning was a very big deal, and I think was a very pivotal turning point in British football culture, if I'm being honest, because it really sparked the interest in women's football to men. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, obviously a few years ago they won the World Cup, and it was sort of big, but it only felt like everyone was aware of it after the event. No one was really like celebrating it that much. Whereas this time there was a little bit of expectation going into it because obviously they'd won something before. And so everyone was sort of interested to see if they would do it again. And they managed to. And I think that was huge for women's football because, not to say that you need to win something to give it any sort of credibility, but the fact that our team's actually good is something that English football fans have been lacking for a very long time. I mean, it's not that our players are bad, but, you know, in terms of the men's football, things have just not gone well for us in a very long time.
Yeah, we've not really had a great track record recently.
Yeah, like, I also watched the men's Euros the year before, and that obviously ended not very well, whereas the women managed to win. And I think just the fact that as a country we could actually win something is amazing.
I do think I mean, women have always been interested in football, you know. I think society has made football a men's game, and this is a completely different topic we won't get into, but I do think having those two titles under their belt has really allowed the media to be like, you have to talk about us now.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
We have done something that your teams have not done for a long time, and as you said, they shouldn't need to win anything to gain that credibility and respect, but it's just helped.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think I remember us having a conversation about, it's probably one of the first times I've seen men in public talking about women's football, which was incredible, really.
Yeah, it's definitely gained a lot of popularity because of that. A lot more young girls are getting into football, and it's also really impressive to me that so many of the players on that team are kind of somewhat household names because of how well they played. Like, I can name people on that team, which is not super common, I think, for people who aren't really that into football. So I think it's really impressive, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably one of the nice things that has happened this year.
Yeah.
Going back to the pop culture thing, just because it's the next on my list, the song Anxiety by Doechii.
Wow.
If there was a soundtrack for 2025, I think this song and Nothing Beats a Jet 2 Holiday would be the pinnacle of 2025.
I also had the Jet 2 one on my list, but yeah, that song Anxiety has been like everywhere, and to be honest, I really hate it.
I really don't like it. I'm sorry, Doechii.
Sorry.
I enjoy your other music, but this song, I just can't
It's just very irritating, and it also kind of bothers me because the original song, Somebody That I Used to Know,
absolute banger.
it's a banger.
It's so good.
I remember when that song came out. It was such a great song, but now it's kind of been ruined because I hear the first bit of it and I'm like, oh god, is this the good one or the bad one? So yeah, but that sound has definitely been everywhere this year.
It's just, you can't escape it. You couldn't escape it, and you still can't escape it at all.
It's still everywhere, which is crazy to me, but yeah, the Jet2 Holidays one equally.
Which, for British people, is not new.
Yeah.
We've had this advert on our TVs for years.
Yeah.
And it's just the fact that TikTok got a hold of it and it absolutely skyrocketed, and now there's people all over the world talking about Jet2 Holidays, which is insane.
I mean, it's great free advertising for Jet2, but yeah, I mean, it's so funny because to us it's just, we've heard that advert for so many years that it's just kind of normal. But I don't really know why it suddenly blew up on TikTok, but it did. And now it's like everyone knows it, and it's just so strange to us because when I'm scrolling on TikTok and I see like a K-pop idol doing the Jet2 Holidays thing, I'm like, what?
It's such a clash of worlds that I would never have expected.
For sure. Yeah, it's so strange.
Yeah. So, what's next on your list?
Okay. Next on my list, Eurovision.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Eurovision obviously happens every year, so
Yeah.
it's not necessarily specific to this year. But this year, obviously, for obvious reasons, was messy in terms of the kind of
political aspect.
climate, and also behind the scenes there was a lot of like weird arguments and things happening with Eurovision. But in terms of the performances, there were a lot of memorable ones for me. Eurovision this year introduced me to Erika Vickman, who is an absolute icon.
The song, I love it. It's still on my playlist.
It's incredible and I love it. And yeah, obviously Austria. Was it Austria, that one? Or was it Switzerland? Austria, I think. Austria. Yeah,
I remember.
I remember the song, I can't remember which country. Austria, yeah. Obviously a great performance. Very sort of, what's the word? Operatic, I guess.
Yeah.
Which I remember showing my parents beforehand a few of the songs which I thought would win. And obviously everyone thought Sweden would win. And that didn't happen.
This is probably the first year in a long time I've enjoyed multiple songs.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, Finland, Erika, the song Ich komme, absolute masterpiece. I love that song.
It's so good.
Sweden's song, as is...
Oh, I love it.
Everyone thought that was going to win,
Yeah.
and I'm surprised it didn't, but that was
Still
so good.
Great song.
Tommy Cappuccino?
Tommy Cash.
Tommy Cash.
But he did the song, yeah. What was it called?
Wasn't it called
Espresso Macchiato? Yeah, there we
Tommy
go.
Cappuccino. Do you know what that is? That's Italian brain rot, that is.
Oh my god.
That's Italian.
That's
We need
next
to
on the
talk
list.
about that,
I
yeah.
forgot about that, but yeah. Tommy Cash, which was just incredible to me because obviously a few years ago I spent part of my year abroad in Estonia, which, you know, isn't necessarily a very well-known country. It doesn't really seem to have much going on the global scale. And I was so impressed that Estonia managed to do so well. And I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, I think it was Latvia as well, their song.
Oh,
I
yeah.
loved Latvia's song.
Latvia was great.
I think it was Latvia.
Yeah.
Was it like the girl group that was like F3?
I think,
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I loved their song. So there was a lot of, even our entry, like the band that we, that was the UK's entry this year was called Remember Monday, and I've enjoyed them for the past couple of years, so it was nice to see them as well. It was just a shame that it didn't quite go to plan.
Yeah,
for a lot of things.
The UK doesn't have a great reputation within Eurovision, but the same can be said about a lot of big countries actually. Spain doesn't usually do that well.
Germany's done pretty bad the past few years.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, but I think that's a good thing about Eurovision is it kind of shines a spotlight on some of the smaller countries in Europe. So yeah,
Maybe we should do a podcast episode.
maybe we should. Yeah,
But yeah, I definitely think that was a good one. I completely forgot that had happened because we actually had a Eurovision watch party together.
we did.
We had like a whole little spread of like food, and we made loads of flags, and it was really fun. But yeah, I completely forgot that had happened. But as we just touched on, Italian brain rot.
Italian brain rot. Where did that come from?
Where did that come from, and where do we begin? It is something that I feel like has transcended cultures and borders, and I was not privy. I did not know what this was for a very long time, and I had to ask you and multiple other people, what is this?
Yeah, I think it kind of slowly started making its way into my feed, and I was like, what is this? And then I kind of figured out that it's another one of those trends where it's like, no one really knows, but we just go with it.
Yeah.
And at first I hated it. I was like, this is so strange. And then it just became really funny to me. Like, not the entire trend itself, but some of the characters just really kind of lived in my brain rent-free, I guess you could say. Tralalero tralala. Incredible.
Oh my god, yeah.
I can't get over it. But it was just so strange how it just suddenly kind of appeared everywhere, all the time.
Yeah, I remember coming into my, like, sphere.
Yeah.
And being like, what is this? And why is it everywhere? I'm not sad that it's leaving.
Yeah, I think
we can leave it in 2025.
Yeah, I think the Italian brain rot can stay in 2025.
Yeah, let's take the Dubai chocolate and let's push back and leave Labubu and Italian brain rot.
I agree, yes.
So the next one I had on my list was the very start of the year, the TikTok ban in the US.
Oh my god, I forgot that was this year. Wow, yeah.
Which was insane. It was such a big thing. You had whole social media figures literally exposing things because they thought they were never gonna come back.
Yeah.
And as everyone knew, it came back, 2 days later?
Yeah, it was not that long. I mean, it was just like this kind of like almost hysteria of everyone being like, oh my god, TikTok. Like, I even remember, you know, we live in the UK. This ban wouldn't have affected us. But I remember going through some of my, like, folders on TikTok of saved things and just downloading all of my favourite videos because I was like, I don't know if these people are going to disappear from TikTok forever and we'll lose these great videos. It
was definitely, as you said, like, mass hysteria. Everyone was losing their mind. And it somehow became a world problem, even though it was only in the US, but...
Yeah.
And as we said, it came back, not even 2 days later?
Yeah, it was very anticlimactic, but I'm also not that surprised.
I'm not, because I think we all knew it wasn't going to be banned, but people were just, like, losing their absolute mind, and everyone was moving to Hongshu.
Red Note, yeah.
Yeah, Red Note.
I do remember that, actually. I was going to say that because,
it was
everyone was like, okay, we need to find a new social media, and so everyone was like, okay, let's go to, like, the Chinese version of TikTok. And I downloaded it very briefly just to see what was going on, and it was just so funny because all the Chinese people were like, why are all the Americans here?
Why are you here?
Why are you here? And it was very strange.
Yeah.
Didn't last very long, but very strange.
But I can't believe that, again, like, I can't believe that was this year. It seems so long ago.
It does feel like a very long time ago. Okay, so my next one, which I also completely just, like, blocked out of my memory from this year, was the Coldplay concert.
I had this on my list. The CEO caught cheating at the Coldplay concert. The impact this had on pop culture at the time was insane.
I've seen a lot of references to this in various places, and it's also very funny to me because I also went to see Coldplay a few months ago, and even at that concert they were making references to it. They were like, look, we're gonna put a camera on, but if you don't want to be caught, don't get on the camera. Yeah, it was just insane how it just blew up everywhere.
Yeah.
It was just one of those pop culture moments where the image of it is, like, everywhere, and it was very funny.
And it's like certain trends stay, you know, in America or the Western world, but no, this transcended everywhere.
Yeah, I've seen countless, like, reimaginings and, like, people copying it.
It's insane. The capacity at which it literally just went from 0 to 100.
Yeah, like, people were losing their jobs. It's so funny looking back. It's just one of those things where you couldn't stage it. It was just so funny.
There's a saying, fact is stranger than fiction.
Yeah.
And that was it. You could not have made that up.
No, that was like
not have made that up.
The perfect storm of, like, events that could not be planned. And I think that's what made it so funny.
Yeah, I can't believe. Yeah, that was one on my list. So, going back a little bit more political, a little bit more serious, but also I feel like the world didn't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Because of how stupid it is.
Yeah.
Is Trump renaming the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America.
I completely forgot that happened, you know?
It was such a big thing at the time, and I feel like it died before it even happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, the idea came about, everyone was like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. And then when it actually happened, there was kind of nothing.
Yeah.
And now it just is.
No one took it seriously because it's so stupid anyway. But I think I remember going on Google Maps a little while ago and it had like both names and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing. Because it's just so like...
Stupid.
It's so stupid and it's obviously so necessary that I don't think anyone took it seriously in the slightest.
No. It doesn't make a difference to anyone but Trump.
Yeah, and even then it's like, okay, what did you gain by doing that? You know?
It's just a power play, isn't it? But
yeah, it was just so unnecessarily stupid that everyone just immediately moved on from it.
yeah, everyone was just like, okay.
Alright then.
I mean, I don't... There was also... Again, there was a lot of political things that happened this year, especially to do with Donald Trump in America. There's the whole thing of him wanting to acquire Greenland and make that an American state, an American colony. It was... And then the whole Canada trying to take... So much insane things have happened in that side of things. It's almost too much to go into.
Yeah.
And I don't really have the information factually to be able to accurately retell this.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was something I was just like, I completely forgot that happened.
I also forgot that happened. Probably for the best. So, this one, I also, like, it happened and it was a big thing and then I completely forgot about it. The new Pope.
The new Pope, yeah. So, the old Pope died.
Yeah.
And then the new Pope was an American.
Yeah. Which is... You wouldn't imagine it.
You wouldn't. Can't remember where he's from, but he's American.
He's definitely American. And I remember, you know, at the time everyone was kind of posting about, like, the kind of election and talking about, like, oh, who's in the running to become Pope. And it was almost like this weird kind of, like, I don't even know what you can compare it to, but it was like, oh, okay, who's it gonna be? Who's gonna be the new Pope? It was almost like some weird game show. So
yeah, I am not religious and I'm not Catholic specifically, so I don't really have any link to this, so I didn't really keep up with it. Obviously it was world news, but I just remember being like, cool.
Yeah, I think that's almost why it was just such like a random event though, because yeah, I'm not religious either and neither are a lot of my friends, and yet it was everywhere. And everyone was talking about it. It wasn't even really seen as like
a serious thing anymore. It became like not a meme, but it became kind of like a very jovial thing.
Yeah, it was.
Which I guess it is, in a way. It's a celebratory thing of someone becoming the new Pope, I guess. But yeah, it was a weird time.
It was, yeah. It was more so like, rather than people actually caring about the result of it, it was just like the whole event.
Yeah.
Of the meme. And like,
definitely.
I remember, you know, there was that whole thing of like, there was like smoke coming out of the building when they figured out
isn't it white smoke that comes out?
It was just like such one of those events where you remember it, you just remember the day.
But the thing is, it's a very historical event, because how many new popes are we going to see in our lifetimes, you know what I mean? It's the same as a coronation, really. But it's just like, kind of not really...
It was one of those things that it's happened before where there's been like a big political event, but being so online just completely changes it. Like, there's been certain events in the UK that have happened with like famous people or like political people and stuff like that, but I just remember Twitter's reaction to it. I think
that's a weird thing to say now about so many things that are, when you look retrospectively, are very big historical moments. The new Pope, when King Charles got coronated, and I was just like, I don't care.
Yeah, like,
I don't want to watch it. I don't want to see it. I have no link to it.
It's sort of nothing to do with me, but it's just kind of like people are talking about it, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where like when my mum talks about historical events that she remembers when she was a kid, she heard it on the radio or saw it on TV.
Think, oh my god, that's so amazing. Like, you were there when that happened.
Whereas me, I'm just like, oh, I read about it on Twitter. It's not as interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, if in like 30, 40 years time and someone says, oh, do you remember when, you know, the king got coronated or the Pope got instated? What's the word?
I don't know.
I'll be like, Not really.
No. I remember messaging my American Twitter friends.
Yeah, literally. I only have one more on my list, actually.
Oh, okay.
Because we had like two of the same. But the last one on my list again is a very stupid pop culture thing. And it's the whole trend, if you may, of 100 men versus one gorilla.
Oh, yeah, that's an interesting one.
Which I also remembered as well while we were speaking, but I can't remember if it was last year or this year. Roman Empire was also a massive thing, but the whole internet debate of 100 men versus one gorilla.
It's a great debate. I mean, what do you think? Who would win?
The gorilla.
Oh, interesting.
It depends. Do the people have weapons?
I guess the question is, how would the humans win, you know? Like, a gorilla can kind of just throw you, but what's a human gonna do?
You can't punch the gorilla to death.
It's not gonna go well if you try and do that. Like, you can gang up on the gorilla, but it's still a gorilla. It's not gonna, you're not really gonna hurt it, I guess. It's an interesting question. I've never really thought about it, but I feel like it's one of those eternal questions where it just kind of pops up.
Eternal questions.
Yeah, the eternal question.
What is the meaning of life? 100 men versus one gorilla?
It's a very valid question. I remember seeing, like, on TikTok and YouTube, people like I guess like 3D animated like some sort of simulation of it.
Yeah, I remember.
With like not even just like gorillas and humans, but like 1,000 chickens versus one pig, just like really stupid things like that. I mean, yeah, great question.
But that was something that I just thought, oh yeah, that did happen. That was something that happened. And I saw a TikTok video that was kind of alarmingly funny and scary. And it was, this is what 2025 nostalgia will look like. And it was just pictures of Labubu's and Dubai chocolate and 100 men versus one gorilla and all of that. Like, and honestly, I'm just... what can I say, really?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that rather than the big historic events, that is what I will remember from this year. But yeah, now that you've mentioned some sort of like TikTok brain rot, it's made me think now. I can't remember if this was like end of last year or beginning of this year. I can't remember. But do you remember, maybe I'm just on a weird side of TikTok, do you remember the whole like galvanized steel thing?
No, but I remember you telling me about this and I was like, I have absolutely no idea what you are on about.
It still pops up on my For You page occasionally. If you've never seen it, basically, it's like these 3D animated videos where they're usually like Chinese, where people like get a weirdly shaped or weirdly sized room and then try and find a way to like fit beds or like furniture and stuff into it. And there was this whole like meme and this whole trend of like, oh, if you use some galvanized steel, you can like make an extension on your bedroom. And it's just like an entirely separate like block just like sticking out from the building, and it just became like a huge meme. Like there's a specific like music soundtrack on TikTok that everyone used for these videos, and it's so funny to me that I really just...
It is scary how in these times some certain songs will just instantly remind you of TikTok.
Yeah.
And there's so many TikTok songs that you hear and you're like, oh my god, that reminds me of December 2022. Like, very specific times.
It does take you back to very specific times. Yeah, for sure.
I was going to say, do you have any left on your list?
I do. Some of them are less important. So I'll pick one to end, I guess, that's a bit more local, a bit more interesting.
Okay.
Black Sabbath concert.
Black Sabbath concert, yes. So we are from the West Midlands. So this is a very big thing for our area.
Mm-hmm.
We live very close to Birmingham. We went to university in Birmingham. So we were kind of in the midst of this. So if you don't know, Black Sabbath is a heavy metal group, band, and they are front-manned by Ozzy Osbourne, who unfortunately passed away not long ago, I'd say like a few months ago. And they did one last final concert at Aston Villa. Was it Aston Villa?
I have no idea.
I think it was Villa Stadium. Is that what it's called? I don't know.
No, I can't remember.
A football stadium in Birmingham, which is where they are from. Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne are from Birmingham. They did one last goodbye show because Ozzy had Parkinson's, I'm pretty sure, and he couldn't really walk, he couldn't really do anything, so he was sat on a throne, but he sang, and all the rest of the band, and they had lots of celebrity guests, and lots of major musicians came to play. Actors were there. I think Jason Momoa was there. Like, so many people, and it was a really big deal. And then, yeah, not long after the concert, he passed away, and I was in Birmingham when the funeral was happening, and they did the I can't remember if it's called like the promenade,
I remember
cavalcade. Like,
yeah,
the car went through the centre of Birmingham, and the streets were just lined with people.
It was a huge event for sure, and you know, obviously it was very sad that he passed away, but on the bright side, it's really nice that he had one final concert with his band, and it generated so much revenue for Birmingham. There was so much tourism. Like, I saw so many videos of Americans who were coming over for the concert for the first time. Because otherwise, why would you really come to Birmingham? There's not much to do here. So it generated a lot of money for the city. And also, I'm pretty sure basically all of the proceeds from the concert went to charity. So, you know, it's a nice note to end off on.
It was very well timed, and I think it was perfectly timed, and I think they knew, and that's why they timed it then. And you could see on his face how much he wanted to be there and how much he enjoyed performing. So it was really lovely to see. And as you said, yeah, it's just a major event for the Midlands, really. Like, the amount of tourism that Birmingham got and the surrounding areas was insane. You know, it's a landmark now, really.
Yeah, there's like famous places where like Ozzy Osbourne went to this park bench or something.
Yeah, and there's like memorials in the city centre if you've ever been, or if you went. If you've been there in the recent months, you know, you definitely will have seen them. It's. Yeah, I mean, it's a slightly bittersweet note to end on, but I think it is definitely something which will stand out 2025, especially in the music industry.
Yeah, and I think especially living where we are and seeing kind of everything happen where we are in our city, it was definitely a memorable event. And, you know, as sad as the end is, I think it's great that it happened, and it was a great moment for our area to kind of come together and remember what's so good about it here, you know. They're a very famous band, and there's a couple of, you know, decently famous bands who come from here. So it was just a nice moment for the city to kind of come together and remember why, you know...
The community.
Yeah, the community came together and kind of appreciated our history a bit, which is 100%.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that was pretty much 2025, I'd say.
That's 2025 in a nutshell.
It's... If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a comment and tell us what your favourite moment of 2025 was, or what is your standout moment of 2025.
Yes.
And we wish you all of the best of luck and fortune for the coming year, and we hope that 2026 is a successful one for all of us.
Yes, Happy New Year. Make sure to have a lot of rest and also have a lot of fun.
And we will see you in the next episode.
Bye.